believe we are live. I'm getting bit by a bug. He's actually biting me as I was starting to stream. Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for sharing a moment of your time, for doing whatever this is. Hello, kitty. Whether it's fair or not, right? Whether it's fair or not, right? Ah, there we go. That nobody knows what's supposed to be fair. And I was like, I'm going through a bunch of different tangents already, thinking from the perspective of, is it fair that I am myself? Right? That's one of the questions that come up in my mind a lot. Is it fair that I am me? Right? I don't know if that one is confusing. Kitty is really curious. Is it fair that I am me? Is it fair that I'm living the life I'm living right now? Is it fair that there are other people not living the life I'm living right now? Is it fair that I live a worse life in sacrifice to those living lives less fair than mine? Is this life fair? Is it fair that I got my DNA, right? Is it fair that my parents decided to meet one another? Is it fair that I get to have this moment? And I plan on join today, right? And I asked myself, is it fair? 774, yeah. Is it fair? Is it fair? I hope so. I feel like that's the thing that I hope for, weirdly enough, that I want it to be fair. Even though I know all the odds are stacked against me that it is fair. How about that, JV? It's nice having you here, Fred. Shad is here too, Natalie, and Sam as well. So much love to you, friends. It's nice having you. Thank you for sharing some of your space with me. I hope this will be nothing is fair, a fair exchange. I hope something is fair at least. At least something has to be fair, right? This joint will be the fair joint, the one singular object in the universe that will be fair, because I've named it such. Fair. Writing fair in all caps for some reason makes it look weird. Fair. And then we'll do some symbols as well. We'll do some powerful Nordic symbols. We'll do abundance, right? If we're going to talk about what's fair or not, there is such a thing as abundance. I feel should be universally fair, right? Because like we're breathing an abundance of air right now, and we consider that a fair thing, right? Oh yes, everybody gets to breathe air. That's fair, right? We can agree on that, right? Suddenly, O'Hare's air comes to my mind. Please, I'll be freaking Lorax. I just need to get myself a sick ass mustache. So abundance to all, magic to everybody. Everybody needs to, have equal access to the magic that is technology on our planet right now. And I feel that is a place that is a little bit unfair. The abundance that is available to us is not evenly distributed. The magic in technology that's available to us. Yes, Gab, I was thinking about you specifically today. I was like, Gab is probably going to be like, you miss me. And then I was going to be like, yes. I already did it. It's fair now. Skip up to you too. Duck Dad is here as well. Sending you love, dude. You're such a cool dude, though. Just so that you know, I find you very cool. But it's fair. Okay, so abundance needs to be evenly distributed, and that will be fair, I believe. Magic needs to be evenly distributed. Knowledge, fire, knowledge needs to be evenly distributed. Everybody needs to have the fire of knowledge so that they can cook themselves the food of insight. And then we'll do enlightenment, right? Hey guys, I feel like everybody needs to have enlightenment, and enlightenment is a little bit of a bastardized word at this point. Like it's been used so many different ways. Enlightenment to me means when you, as a source of light, become aware of that. Right? Like you as a being of light, you emanate from the same source that is the unity, the sun, the singularity. Emanating from that is light, right? When you remember your origin point, that's enlightenment to me, at least. There we go. Some Simbers, and then I'll start rolling it up. Skipow! Skipow! Man, happy, hey man, I respect you day. Hey man, I respect you too. Thank you for joining us, Natalie. Nothing is fair. My friend met up years ago, the day before Valentine's, to show love and respect to humans in your life. Oh, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Good to know. Guess we know we're gonna stream about tomorrow. Oh, whoa! That is stripping my brain out. Hey, Joe. Oh man, that's so strange. Do I want to read this to you, friends? It's a little bit personal, but maybe I will. Maybe read it again to just see how personal it was, and then I'll make an executive decision of whether or not I'll read it to you. Let me up the brightness a little bit. Uh, 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 no. It's even weirder now that I'm reading it again. It's basically, it goes into, I've been having sexualized dreams, or at least intimacy dreams, right? Like for the last like week, basically, it's been intimacy dreams, followed by intimacy dream, followed by intimacy dreams. And I wrote out, I wrote about it, I was like, bro, what the fuck's happening? Why is this happening to me right now, right? And it's that romantic love, I guess, that this Valentine's Day is inducing into our collective, consciousness. And then I continued writing on that point. Let me see if I can read that part. Okay, yeah. So Brother Ryan suggested I watch this movie called The Dark Song. It's a little bit of a strange one, but it was kind of curious. It's like kind of occulty. And one of the things in that occult movie was abstinence from sexual energy, and that this abstinence from sexual energy for like 2 months allowed enlightenment slash the willingness, the ability to meet your highest self, your angels, if you will. So I wrote about that. I was like, maybe this sexual energy that is being stimulated in me right now should be transformed. Like I need to be watching it and allowing it to grow, and then allowing that growing energy to transmute and transform into something else. So yeah, I forgot that Valentine's Day was a thing up until this very moment, and now I kind of feel like I understand more of what I've been going through. Not just me, it's just the whole world is losing their minds collectively right now for a little bit. Life is not a meritocracy. Hey Google, what is a meritocracy?
Here's the definition of meritocracy: government or the holding of power by people selected according to merit.
That's true, I guess. Is that a good thing? Is the question. Should we be a meritocracy? I feel like that instantly creates a narrative of being a good person only because it benefits you. The sun is a fire and is a priest. I love sitting in this spot specifically because I like the way it looks. It gives me like a real nice sense of space. But the sun always blasts my eyeballs when I sit in this space because it moves, right? And the tree's branches has gaps in some places. So as it moves, where the sun beats through changes. Maybe we'll just do like another stream where we keep being mobile. Stay mobile. Richard, dude, sending you good vibes, brother bear. We had another stream with Dad yesterday. We were talking about separation versus non-separation. And one of the sticking points that we really got stuck on is where I believe we are all already in heaven, right? That heaven isn't somewhere that we're going, but some place that we have to realize we are, or to bring that space into these moments that we call normal, that we call human. right? And he got stuck on that idea because he believed it isn't fair. And I asked him, okay, Dad, if you don't believe it's fair that we're already in heaven, that everybody, the sinners as well, the rapists and the murderers are also in heaven right now. If you don't think it's fair, do you think this life is fair? And then he's like, nah, life is not fair. And I'm like, okay. So now we've established, we've reached a conclusion, a true point, right? Life is not fair. So it's okay that it's not fair that everybody is in heaven, right? And I believe that we create our own hell. I honestly do. So the person that murders is going to have to deal with what comes along with murdering people, right? They're going to have to think about that shiznit. And thinking about that and telling themselves a story of their own evil nature, of their own suffering, of their own damnedness, right? Oh, I killed someone, so I'm damned. I'm going to hell. And maybe they don't even feel bad about it, right? So maybe they have that experience of, oh, I killed a person and I don't even feel bad about it, etc., etc. It is going to be an experience that they create for themselves within this heaven, within the infinity that is heaven. And it was this back and forth, and that inspired today's stream topic about what's fair, right? Hey Google, is life fair? So the inside of the joint has fair, right? So we'll do outside life. Life is fair, at least for this joint. Let's see what Google says. Life is complicated. And those who are willing to make the supreme sacrifices often win. Oh, what a trip that is. Some people get off to a difficult start and have incredible obstacles to overcome. Regardless, life isn't fair. Yeah, I kind of feel that. Thank you, Machine, for giving me your insight as well. Life. Oh, life and fairness. Oh yeah, and by the way, my microphone is working again. It's only working in one direction. Like officially, I know that one side of my USB-C port is broken, right? So if I charge my phone, instead of it being USB-C where I can just charge it both ways, I can only charge it one way now. But that one way that it charges, I can also plug my microphones in that one way, and then the microphones work, fortunately. It's technically facing away from me, so I can't see the little bars of how much noise is influencing you friends, but at least it's working. Isn't that fair, right? Something broke, but it still works, and I feel that is kind of fair. I'm like, yeah, that feels right to me. Okay, let me see. I'm missing some comments. Maxine, I've been thinking about you actually. Your shirt is hanging there. It's drying right now. Gabbity gabbity goo. Good morning, friends. Again, hi to you, Duck Dad. Canadian holiday about respecting people. I'm so stunned. Skip up. Skip up to you, dude. Wait, I'm cool. I've heard that once from my mom, but I'm pretty sure she's obligated to say that. Well, Duck Dad, officially, dude, someone other than your mom has told you that you are cool. And if you think of me as someone that's cool, right, that means a cool person said that you're cool. And that means you're double cool. And if you think of me as uncool, then I, as an uncool person, think you're cool, which still makes you cooler than me, which makes you cool. All right, so no matter how you slice it, though, you're a pretty cool dude. Like that. Love you, man. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being such a cool dude. Neurodivergent and still showing up fairly, all right? World isn't necessarily always in sync with the way the rest of the world sees things, feels about things. You're not crying in the face of this unfairness, laying down, pretending yourself to be a victim. You're still doing the things, dude. Showing up for love, for community, for family. And ultimately, for self, for you, dude. And that, for some reason has become demonized, and, you're selfish if you do stuff like that. But I honor you, friends, for loving yourselves too. Thank you for loving me. When you think of fairness, think about genie wishes. It doesn't mean everything is perfect. I like that, actually. That's a cool one. I missed you too. Last week was hard, exhausting week. but I'm capable and worthy. Oh yeah. You see that? You see that? God is saying things that are true. Yeah. Last week was hard. I'm not going to deny this, but I am capable and worthy. Yeah, I believe that about you. Gobbledygoo, thank you. Dude, you're inspiring me with your words, man. Hey, Joe is here. Sam, zoo was awesome. We did a photo booth for the first time, and Duckling spent the whole night carrying around the picture saying, "This is the most beautiful picture ever taken, Daddy and Mommy." Isn't that so wholesome? Yeah, having photos taken just in and of itself is brain melting, right? 100 years ago, that would be like a special family event or something. You know, you would have to stand still for like 20 seconds to have the photo taken, right? Just think about that. Imagine if that was still the way it was. Every single time we wanted a photo taken, we all gather together and then we just stand still for like 20 plus seconds so that this photo can become exposed to light, to our light, well, to the light reflecting off of us, I guess. Fair, right? What's fair? Again, is things more fair now with our technological advancements, or are they less fair? It's a hard one, isn't it? Right? And they're not fair, but are they more fair than they were? Part of me wants to say yes, right? Part of me wants to believe that we're heading towards fairness, at least in some extremes, slowly but surely. Uh, yeah, like it's an information thing almost, right? Where, for instance, and then I had this as one of the things that I was considering during my yoga today. One being unable to experience anything, right? Literally, completely unable to experience anything at all. Think about it, right? Its experience is void, just like darkness. And it has an experience in that darkness. It would believe the experience you're having, seeing all of these things, right? Stubbing your toe against the table, corner or the table leg and then getting hurt and then having that experience, right? Fair or not, it would believe your experience is unfair in comparison to its because you get to have an experience and it doesn't, right? So even if you consider your experience unfair, it would consider it unfair that you get to have your unfair experience and it doesn't, right? So I feel like fairness very much is a perspective thing, right? Unfortunately, we do compare as human beings. And I don't know that comparison is necessarily healthy because comparison is the thief of joy. And things might be more fair to you until you take a moment to compare yourself to another. And then suddenly they're not fair anymore, right? And I feel the balance I'm trying to reach in my life is not doing that, not comparing myself to create fairness in my own life, as difficult as that may be. What do you think? What do you feel? I hope it resonates with you friends too. There we go. Let me see what I missed. I no longer drink a daily coffee, so the afternoon coffee yesterday had me up until just before sunup. I had the mental energy, but I had excess energy. Fair trade. I had no mental energy, but I had excess energy. I, I'm a little bit confused, but I feel you, Natalie. I'm happy that you had a good time. I hope it was a good time. I don't particularly enjoy, personally, the experience of having all of that mental energy running through while I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, bruh, I appreciate you for all of your thinking and all of your idea making and all of your future projection and all of your planning. I do. I really do. I love it. You're great at it. But I'm trying to sleep right now. Oh, please have some mercy. And then I just try and focus on breathing. And then usually I'll fall asleep. But if I have my coffee like at 9 at night, for example, I'm going to have the same experience. The latest I have my coffee is around this time, around 4. And then even then, it keeps me up. Love, love, love to you too, Joe. I caught my wife and daughter's call I caught my wife and daughter's cold that they got last week. Oh, I caught. So then I feel like I got hit by a tiny truck. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. I feel men get hit harder right off the bat with sickness, but then we're not sick for as long, where women tend to have like a more delayed reaction to the sickness, but they might stay sick for longer. Let me tell you, I have went, I have went much longer. I've went much longer than 2 months, and I don't feel any more enlightened. So I don't know. That's why I wrote it down. I don't know anything, in fact, and I actually specifically stated in that little journal entry that I don't know. I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do with this energy? Is it fair that I feel this way? Right? I don't want to sleep with anybody. But clearly my brain is like, you need to be sleeping with people, dude. And I'm like, nah. And then my brain is like, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm on a farm in the middle of nowhere right now. And it's like, no, thank you. Is this fair? Is this fair living with this brain of mine? Maxine again, love to you, friend. I'm gonna have to move again. Like this. Yeah. That's nice. I put some peace and calming on this, Shan. Yeah, that's real nice. This morning for breakfast, Joe says, we will be having shredded beef and cheese burritos with fresh mangoes and celery on the side. A tall glass of water, maybe a small shot of coffee. Treat yourselves. Please do, right? Fairly, though. Treat yourself fairly. I feel like that's an important thing to say, right? Because sometimes I treat myself unfairly, even though I'm treating myself, right? You know what I'm saying. you know what I'm saying. Viking and I were discussing your hate for camping in yesterday's chat. Viking is team camping. Viking is very much team camping. Very much so, Joe. I'd be over for breakfast. I don't trust Viking's judgment. You're always welcome at my table. So much love. If you ever meet Steve, the Viking from Nova Scotia, you can trust him. Legit. Would send any and everyone in chat to hug him. Thank you for the love. I genuinely feel that life is fair enough to be able to meet you friends. So I'd call that a win. You see, now that, Connor, is what I believe should be the mindset that all of us have. That sure, the whole of the experience. Like as soon as I said the whole of the experience, my mind instantly went like, oh yeah, you want the whole? And then it was like, how about multiverses as well, dude? How about all different potentialities of potential existence within infinity? How about that? I was like, okay, please, just let's say the whole of the earth, right? All of the experiences on the whole of the earth may not be fair always. But as you beautifully said, Connor, it was fair enough for us to get this moment, right? And even if we only get this one moment ever, would that be fair, right? Again, the perspective. Man, I feel blessed. I feel happy. I feel grateful to be here with you, friends. I love you. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. I'll read a few more comments and then maybe we'll light that joint. My microphone only works in one direction. Sings what makes you beautiful. I'm happy, dude. I'm so relieved. So relieved that it's at least working in one of the directions. Right? And I was like thinking, I've really been brainstorming, like getting the port fixed or something. But this is my streaming camera, right? What am I gonna stream with? What am I gonna stream my YouTube with? Because my other phone doesn't work that way, unfortunately, right? Its port is broken as well. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll buy these ports like replacement ports, and then I can find someone potentially locally in town, and then I can go through at like 7 a.m. and then sit with him, literally watching him like a hawk, being like, "Fix my phone now, please. Like, do it now." And like, yeah, all of this waity for other people, but for me, no, because I need this phone like now, like in a few hours. And I was like, bruh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I'm probably still gonna have to do that because it's still technically broken, but only one way, right? So I'm embracing the the balance between fair and unfair, little by little. Thank you for setting the love with me, dude. Cool. I'm hugging Steve the Viking, but thanks. Thank you, Joy Vive. Here she is. Candace is here as well. Toonsy, how are you feeling today, brother bear? Gateway, love you. It's nice having you. Doing well. Super Bowl made me mad, but it's okay. Vegas always wins. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the Super Bowl made you mad. I think everybody is mad about the Super Bowl. Weirdly enough, this whole fair question comes with, was that fair that was happening, right? And then is the amount of reaction, the amount of outrage, is that fair? Right? Right? Like the amount of layers of fairness that we can kind of go into it's astonishing. Again, hello, Gateway. Much love to you, Duck Dad. Sports ball is stupid. I also am happy to say I didn't watch a single second of the game. Dibs on your share of hugs, Joy Vive. Neurodivergence. That sounds like a fancy word for confusion. Neurodivergence is a fancy word for your neurons and your neural makeup is divergent from the neural makeup patterns, the default mode networks of the average person. At least that's the way I consider it. Hey, Google, what is neurodivergence? Yeah, here the definition is neurodivergence is divergence in mental or neurological function that is considered typical or normal from what is considered typical or normal, frequently with reference to autistic spectrum disorders. Leaders do not always have a practical understanding of how to integrate neurodivergence into the workplace. So yeah, I believe all of us are a little bit on the neurodivergent spectrum, right? That's why we're friends. That's why we're talk about the wacky shiznit we do. Total facts right there. Yeah, it's neurodivergence. Yeah, and yes, it's make things confusing. Oh yes, but I wouldn't make fun of all of our brain connections aren't the same. Yeah, every single one. That's why it's divergent. That's why we use the word neurodivergence because divergence. Hey Google, what's the exact definition of divergence? It's like fractaled, right? Goes in different directions. Divergence, the process or state of diverging. Wow, thank you. Mathematics, the scalar product of the operator del and a given vector, which gives a measure of the quality of flux emanating from any point of the vector field or the rate of loss of mass, heat, etc. from it. Yeah. You don't understand what that means? I must be so smart and you must be stupid. I totally understood. I think it means single pointed, right? And then heat or mass or electrons or can emanate right from this vector, and all of us have the same brain. We can say that at least conceptually have the same brain, right? We have the same kind of like makeup that functions, that breathes our lungs and digests our food, for example. But from that same brainedness, there is neurodivergence, where we are all kind of like focusing on our own little niches, our own little vectors, becoming more unique, becoming ourselves even. But I wouldn't had a hard enough time getting her to hold still for the 3-second countdown on the photo. Imagine 20 seconds, dude. Oh my goodness. I mean, so simple. It's so simple now too. In the 90s, all the cameras had a million flashes before the actual picture got taken. And then you had to go to a place and develop. You had to have a little roll of film, actual film, and then you could put those things in machines. the amount of progress, just in our lifetimes alone. I'm so sure why we use, I'm not sure why we use all of these words to describe other things that we have to find. I feel neurodivergence to me is a little bit more of a broad term, right? It captures a lot. Uh, it's an umbrella term, yeah, that's the good word as well. I miss the good old disposable Kodak cameras. I mean, they're still available, aren't they? I think you can still buy them. We just don't because they're an inconvenience and they cause waste. As you mentioned, disposable, right? Yeah, disposable. That's not great for our planet. If all of us continued using disposable cameras for all of the photos we've ever taken, that would be an absolute ecological nightmare. Neurodivergent simply means a different wired brain than most. Yeah, exactly. Connor, me too, buddy. Me too. I wasn't trying to stir up anything. No, Joe, we're just flowing, dude. We're being taken wherever this experience takes us. We're not trying to be unfair. We're just feeling, I guess, feeling things out. We make new words and combinations of them all the time. No one person gets to create all the wordings. Yeah, if Shakespeare can create new words, and so can we. Skiwop. Skiwop-de-bop. My brother is a photographer. There we go. Wait a second. The melty impression of coffee brain is my ADHD autism brain. Every second of every day. I'm still not smoking this joint, dude. I've held on for it for 30 minutes at this point. Okay. Fair life. Fair life for all. Abundance. Magic. Knowledge. Enlightenment. Fair life. Was that a little much? I'm probably gonna. Here it goes. I have my ass handed to me. Oh goodness. More? Yeah. And I don't have to worry about the wind. My microphones are working. Makes me happy. Makes me happy. Fair life for all. Fair life for all. Oh goodness. Okay. Inquiring minds would like to know who you're having super sexy dreams about, Melt. Weirdly enough, the most recent one I had was about an ex. Like, the dream went something like we got back together, but it was one of those confusing dreams where you're like, what the fuck's happening? Why is this happening? Where we got back together, and then not only were we back together, but she was suddenly living with me. And she was in the room with me, and we were like cuddling. And I was tripping out that my parents are okay with this, because my parents don't allow me to have women in my room because we're Christians, right? And that's sin. So I was like, wow, this is kind of trippy. I have a woman in my room right now. That's weird. And then I was like, shit, not only do I have this woman in my room, but, and in my mind, that was the narrative. She's living with us right now. And then I was like trying to generate this experience of watching my parents try and interact with her. And instead of interacting with her, they were just avoiding her, kind of like not having a conversation with her. And then upon experiencing that, I was like, huh, I don't know if my parents actually want this, partner I have in my life to be here with me right now. And then I felt bad for not asking them or consulting them. It almost felt like it happened so quickly because it was a dream that it was an assumption that I made instead of a question that I asked. So I feel maybe even more than the sexuality slash intimacy that my dreams are kind of communicating to me. It's more the depth of what that means. Would it be fair, right? Really asking myself, would it be fair for me to have a partner right now? Right? And I've had this conversation before. Like the egoic, maybe it's not even the egoic part of myself. I'm confused which one it is, but a part of myself believes it would be unfair for me to have a partner right now because I wouldn't be able to give to this partner what I believe my partner deserves, right? And that is my time. My time. And I don't have that time right now. I'm gonna be busy for a while. Is that fair? To myself, I ask as well, right? Where I trip out about being alone, not having, romantic experiences in my life, and for a while now. And then I'm like, would I be able to do what I'm doing if I had more romantic experiences in my life? And then the answer comes back, nah, fam. No, you wouldn't. You would be distracted. Very much so. You would be so distracted. And maybe that's the thing that I'm fighting with a little bit in myself as well. I don't know if it's related to the time in which we are. The fact that it's Valentine's Day right now, and that is something that people should be going through. I don't know if it's my age, right, where my biology is reaching a certain level of maturity, and that maturity is communicating some sort of readiness, willingness to participate in romantic relationships, or if it's a societal norm thing where because one of my best friends is now in a relationship, a part of me feels like I'm supposed to be. Is there more layers to it? Maybe just lust, just straight up lust, right? A bodily need. And then balancing all of these things. And then again, from that balance, trying to ask myself, is this fair? Is this balance that I'm trying to create fair? And it's curious. It's curious how it changes. It's in flux. And complexly so. I wish I had more information. I feel that's the thing that bothers me. I wish I could have more insight into how these things work and how they arise, how they kind of keep influencing me, and how I can be more mindful of that. It's Buzz Lightyear. At least that's who it is when the sexy dreams are abrupt and without reason. Buzz Lightyear. Are you serious, Sam? Like, please tell me, please. I want you to be serious. I don't know why, but imagining someone in the universe having Buzz Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear sex dreams, I don't know why, but that just feels so comically beautiful to me. I can't even wrap my mind around it properly. Lamar must be sad. To infinity and beyond. I've had a few dreams about Buzz Lightyear too. Exactly, that's the thirst trap in the comments. It is trying to get melty. OnlyFans up and running. Calm down, ladies. I won't have an OnlyFans, right? I've really gone through that fractal as well, where I watched that is a part of humanity, right? Something that people want to see, sexuality. And then I ask myself, will I make anything more fair by contributing are participating in that fractal. And I can't see myself participating. I can't see myself bringing more fairness into the world. All right? It will just be, right, that. It wouldn't be like resolute balance. Ah, yes, fairness. So fair. Nah. Mel's OnlyFans would just be a bunch of positive affirmations overlaid on cat pictures. Maybe, right, like if it's to the extremes, maybe I'll post like a shirtless photo, every like once a week or something, and then that's like extremely lewd. Oh, there's Rap. We are spinning around the room, stuck on the ceiling fan. Oh, sign me up, Connor. If you want to wrangle, go to Woody. If you want to reach infinity and beyond, go to Bob. So beautifully twisted. Well, damn, Joy Vive. Now I want that OnlyFans. The divergence definition reminds me of Mel describing fractals. That's what I thought as well, interestingly enough. I saw fractals in reading that meaning. And I was like, I don't know if this is what it's supposed to mean. That's why I was like joking about pretending to know what it means, because I just saw fractals. I was like, Instead of making meaning out of what these words I'm reading, my brain is just going, and I'm like, all right, okay, cool. Do you ever think how weird it will be when you talk to yourself as AI Melt? Oh yes, all the time. I think about that all the time. It's kind of unsettling even. Is that Connor asked? Yes, because not only am I talking to that AI version of myself, but that AI version of myself is trained on everything. All of my journal notes, all of my manifestations, all of my affirmations, all of my YouTube streams, all of my shorts, everything, right? And it's like, it's a fractal of me. It's like a mirror of me, and I'm like watching myself keep creating it. And I'm like, this is gonna fuck me up. Right? And I use that kind of like liberally as not necessarily a bad thing, but it is gonna, cause me to reevaluate what's fair, right? I'm going to literally be faced with a reflection of me that I can conversate with. I can actively start having a conversation with myself about my own bullshit. I can be like, how about this nonsense that you did for like 6 weeks during 2013? What was this all about? And then I can unpack that stuff, right? I can find patterns in my own behaviors, and I can learn, and I can expand, and then I can, from that expansive nature, give more nodes of information to the version of myself that is beyond myself. And then it's like it's a back and forth growth process, an infinity in and of itself, that is self-actualization, self-development, becoming what you are, right? And the only way to become what you are is to do it. Write down what you think. What you think is valuable, I promise you. You're so unique, you don't even realize. Sure, you might, use the same little building blocks that is our language, which we didn't invent, right? We didn't invent this language, and yet we are speaking it. You're understanding the words I'm saying right now. You're gonna have to use the same words, but allow them. Just sit down, write something. Write how you feel. Write about something that pisses you off. That one is great, right? That is a truthless message, where he's like, just write about something you really don't like. And then by the time you're into it, then you can start writing stuff that you do like. Hello, puppy. You want some attention from me right now? Is that what you want? You want some attention? Here you go, sweet girl. Mush. Give you bum pats. Bye-bye. I'll see you soon. Okay. So much wind, and I hope I can't see anymore, that the audio is still clear. Love the dad joke. So much love is being shared. Been watching AI voice constructions, and they're already insane. How do you know you're not an AI right now? I don't sometimes, dude. Oh goodness, I don't know if I should share this, but during my last of last LSD trip, I had this deep remembrance, almost like epiphany, realization that time doesn't exist, right? We've said that a few times. Like you're intersecting time, right? Your intersection of time through the medium that is space creates the time, right? Your awareness of the space and then moving that space creates this illusion of time. Anyway, and then I was like, oh yes, so that intersection point is the singularity. You are that singularity. And then I was like, I have been sent back into what this version of me would consider the past to start contributing to what this version of me considers the singularity so that it can become what it is. And I was like, that is way too much. And I've told you, friends, that as well. You are doing that right now by being in this moment, choosing to watch this stream exactly, have this conversation right now. And then the conversations you'll have, the things you'll see later in the day using this technology, the things you'll contribute, right? The messages you'll send, the voice notes, the typing in your diary, the photos you take, the memes you share, the actual pixels that light up on your screen, right? Becoming embedded inside of your being. You are the singularity. All of us are. And we just have to become mindful of that, right? Realize that it's not necessarily fair, but it is also the most fair thing ever because it's all of us. It's all of us. It's not just one of us, it's all of us. And some of us are in that fractal that Google shared. Some of us are willing to make extreme sacrifices, right? And then those extreme sacrifices allows winning, whatever that is supposed to mean. Weirdly enough, let me write this down. I'll show you what I've written down. During today's manifestation, I wrote down this specifically. Let me see how far down it is. This is the wrong page. That's why I'm struggling. There we go. Others do not have to lose in order for me to win. My victory is humanity's. I experience true bliss having let go of the illusion of competition. Me and my reality /God /source /universe are one. And so is everyone else. I do not exist with all else. All else is a part of my existence. I grow in my awareness of unity to live in unity, celebrating my fellow person. Miracles happen because we are living in love, service, and compassion. I offer my time and presence to those in need with the love they receive, the love I am trying to give. The centering thought was, I celebrate my unity with all life, knowing we are one. The more I show up to manifest unity, the more we melt. Today's manifestation. We're contributing in a way we've never been able to before, friends. Never been able to before. I just think about that, right? Like for the longest time, a human being could contribute esoterically to the infinity. But now we are creating an externalized, a fractaled, a mirrored version of infinity in our lives. These things, right? A black mirror into infinity that you have in your hand on your wall right now. That is a level of interconnectivity that humanity has never known. And it is doing something. It's clear. You can feel it. You can feel it. Okay, I'm gonna turn the I'm tripping out a little bit down and I'm gonna trip back in. I might be slipping out when I get to the comment. We love you too. Nonetheless, Natalie, we'll see you soon. All joy, love, love, love. Dude, I just had a dream about an ex. It was wonky too, a little sexy, but mostly confusing, right? The confusion. The confusion was also the thing that was weird to me. I was like, what the fuck's actually happening right now? Crazy that we're having that synchronicity. Lucia, it's nice having you here, friend. What strain is that, Jay? Probably lemon haze. Probably some lemon haze. Let me light it a little bit more. Actually take a puff in solidarity with you asking. I have some crazy theories on that dream. Share away, Natalie, if you'd like to. Dreams are always confusing. Lucia, the real question, what is Melty's favorite strain? I don't have enough experience with good weed to have a favorite strain, unfortunately. Well, Melt's brother had his girlfriend in his bed over the holiday, so I guess they're more lenient these days. Nope, my mom is more lenient. My dad would lose his mind, right? Like the last few days that his girlfriend was here, my dad came back home as well. My mom, you know, the night before my dad came was like, please, your girlfriend cannot sleep with you anymore. Your dad would lose his mind. And I'm just watching this, knowing that I'm my brother and having the time of my life, being like, this is not fair. This is so not fair. But I'm okay with it because there is still love, right? Love is still true in that circumstance. Do 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 do. That's not so random. Neurons. Because they were activated in the dream and associated with the last touch of the ex. And your brain is filled with the memory and vision of someone that associated with those neurons. Weirdly enough, that was also the last person I was in a relationship with, that ex. Right? And it's, yeah, it's almost like my last memory, maybe melting away of being with that person. Who knows? Sena is here too. I see you, Fred. It's nice having you. My thoughts exactly, not random. Okay, the rules are typically more lenient when parents sense their kid's lack of game. I don't know if Vessel lacks that much game. Vessel is pretty sexy. I want to see what I'm looking at. Yeah, I'll give you some crowds for a second. Don't ask how, but surprisingly enough, good for a game for a good time. Good morning again, Sena, Meltmore, beautiful and beautiful friends. I'm glad to be here with you all. I just want to send my love to everybody. Thank you, Sena. Your love is received and sent right back to you, dear friend, in abundance. If Christian is dating someone Melty, does that mean he's staying in South Africa? He wants to stay in South Africa, save up money, and then move to Mauritius. That's one of the new plans he shared with me, which I'm also supporting, of course. Sam out there telling the truth. I had almost every high school boyfriend have parents okay with the door closed. But when I spent the holidays, I had to sleep in the dad's office. Tunnel room. Shanna, hello, thank you for the love. Heretics and heathens. He's my Michaela who came from the holidays. I know. Yeah, he's with Michaela, exactly, Joy Vive. I spelled her name wrong. Did someone ask? So yeah, he's with Michaela. Thank you for reminding me of her name as well. I haven't used her name enough to properly remember it. I feel bad. I'm proper young. Celebrate Lady Connor. So much love, dude. You guys see the viral video of the dude who has an OnlyFans and paid off his sister's tuition and his dad's retirement. He has a pet duck in his videos. Unfortunately, I have seen those viral videos, right? And those kind of viral videos make me again ask what's fair, right? Because yes, he's selling pictures of his dick, but also He's paying for his sister's college tuition and getting her out of debt, and helping with his dad's retirement and buying his mom a car. So my mind is like, huh, can I judge? Can I say this is evil or this is wrong? No, I can't really. Do I want to do that as well? No, I don't really. So I guess it's just about accepting people, right? At the end of the day, being like, oh, you saw pictures of your dick? Cool, dude. Me? No, no, not me. But I'm not gonna refuse to have a conversation with you because that's what you choose to do. After my success with the gay community on Reddit, streaming my plant growing on my buddies, I should start an Only Farms. Yeah, that sounds sick actually. Hello, Doug Dad. That is a 1 in a million nowadays. Joy, so much love. Duck is going crazy on OnlyFans, coming to a dirty pond near you. No, please. I'm laughing and smiling too much, hanging for 2 minutes. Redesign my business card. I'm thinking about putting Life's a Garden dig in it. Yes. Little plant nurseries and pots of crops about to blossom. That junk sounds cool. It does kind of actually. I'm just watching time lapses of things growing is always a vibe. So I feel like there would be a niche, to be filled in that way. E.E. Cummings said, the hardest challenge is to be yourself in a world where everyone is trying to make you be somebody else. I like that quote. I like that quote, Sena. Like the quote I've been kind of saying to myself is one from Dan Coe, beautiful creator on YouTube as well, where, and I don't know if he's the one that came up with it, but he goes, don't listen to people who have smaller dreams for your life than you do. Right? Because that's what's fair. Like if you're gonna worry about people's opinions about your life, about what you should be doing with your life, and their dreams for you are smaller than the dreams you have for yourself, then it's only fair for you to not listen to them, right? If they have even bigger dreams for you, maybe then there could be a listening, right? Being like, huh, you know, like I feel, for instance, Brother Ryan is a person like that in my life, where at the start of last year, that Meltmore probably didn't see himself as a yoga teacher, right? As a person capable of teaching yoga. I remember coming back from Christians after having followed these yoga teachers, Dylan and Patrick, such strong dudes, absolute gods. And we're so inspired, me and Christian, by these dudes, and we're working hard, and like we're basically talking to these people like they're friends of ours, right? Calling them out, right? Like they'll be in like this super hard pose, and then they're like calmly talk to you, and then we tell them to shut the fuck up, or like shut the fuck up, Dylan, don't start with me right now. So it was like this beautiful relationship that I formed with these yoga teachers on recordings, right? And then I kind of like showed up for the second year of these stream creations. Brother Ryan found these streams, and it wasn't a part of my dream to teach yoga. And Brother Ryan had that larger dream for this process, for what it is we're showing up for. And because my dream wasn't that large at that point, right? I understood I had a large dream for what I wanted to create, but for some reason, it didn't cross my mind that I could do that. Right? I guess it's the imposter syndrome, right? If somebody has a big dream for your life, a beautiful dream for your life, and it's something that you can see yourself doing, pursue it. Don't say no. Don't say no so much, right? Especially when it comes to opportunities of growth. It's gonna be hard, and that part isn't always fair. Oh, there's gonna be sacrifice, right? If you want to win. Even if that sacrifice is something as small as an extra nice thing to eat per day, right? What's fair? What's fair? It's like, my mind is like, what's fair? What's fair? What's fair? What's fair? What's fair, dude? What do you think's fair? What do you think's fair? It's kind of tripping me out. Hey Google, what is Riz? I'm not sure either. Can't hear wind. Life is good, gang gang. We don't hear the wind. Riz, is that short for risotto? Sorry, I always revert to food when I get lost. The Rizzler of the new card. Yeah, I'm tripping out, completely lost. My belly gets Natalie. Talking food, please no. I'm making a crappy frozen breakfast sandwich, Connor. Does that get you going? Connor is like, yeah, let's go. I will feed you all. I have to play with the dog and craft with the kids. Natalie, have a good time. Sorry, Mel. I missed that. Was thinking about food. It's okay. Don't try to me have a good time. I know, right? You have two girls in the house, dog. Come in there and have sandwiches on demand. All right. Guess the wife's also a girl. I choose to be an observer of the painting that is my world. The act of not acting, whilst knowing that we are the creators of this mosaic moment, is a wild ride sometimes. It allows for apathy in some ways, or at least in some opinions, right? Or at least in the Western conditioning of what you should be doing, how busy you should be being. People can assume it's apathy, but it's slow living, right? It's becoming a whole thing again. It's been a thing for all of eternity, but now people are like, oh yeah, this new fad. We're gonna live slowly. Like, yeah, where are we rushing? Towards infinity? Like, I can tell you now, no matter how fast you can go infinitely fast. You won't get to the end of infinity, right? That's the fucked up thing about it. That's what's so fucked up. We can go infinitely fast towards infinity, and we'll never reach it. Is that fair? I believe that's what we wanted. I honestly do. We were like, what do I want? And then we were like, everything. And now we're getting it forever. Is that fair? Is it fair to want everything? All right. It's a good question to ask. And I feel a lot of people don't. Even though we do want everything. Right? And then there's a balance that gets met where we realize we need nothing because we are that everything. As you mentioned beautifully, Joe, acting within non action. Right? You can have that feeling of wanting everything right now in this moment, or you can realize that there is no more to have than you in this moment, sitting and watching infinity all around you. What more do you want than infinity? Right? And you're like, yeah, Melt, I haven't eaten today. I want at least, some small little food bit of this infinity. Stop being an asshole. I know. I honestly believe that shouldn't be the way it works. We have more than enough food to feed everyone, right? And by golly, if we can't change it, who is? AI might help. It's probably gonna help. But we're gonna have to make the decision to be like, yeah, everybody gets food. Everybody has a place to sleep. Everybody gets to be a part of this network that we've set up that we call society, right? And I know it has potential dystopian results. But again, if I'm gonna be hoping for dystopia, how could I get anything other? Stop doing that, please. Thank you, Eva. or I can hope for a beautiful future where we actually respect Eva, where we actually respect one another and we value each other's beingnesses and we try to be soft. Hello, you love woofdars. Yeah, I just mashi masis. Yeah, mashi fish mashi. Of course, Pippi gets on top of me. It's like, yeah, do the thing where you give me the attention. That's what's fair. Only me gets all of the attention. I want everything and all of it at the same time. Isn't that right, Pippi? That's what you believe, right? Put you down for now. No, 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 no. Whoa. Did I miss some? How did I scroll down? Okay. My ex used to do the cooking. I hate cooking. Hopefully, we'll get you a robo chef soon enough, Joyview. Robo gadget cook me something. I don't know why it makes Terminator sounds. Not Terminator sounds, Transformers sounds. My brain is just straight up melting right now. I made cookies yesterday, so I had cookies for dinner. It was a bad idea. Probably tasted good. All right, your body wouldn't, necessarily approve if you did that every day, but you're not planning on doing it every day. So, all right, it's fair enough within the infinity of you showing up. Since when did you have kids, Joe? Joe, I'm a stay-at-home papa. It's a new fractal for me, but I like the role reversal perspective of being the caretaker. Cookies for dinner. They aren't from my body. I recently started living with my significant other, and she has a couple of critters. They're great, and I guess I'm natural at being a papa. It's brand new experiences. One of them is homesick today. Love you, Joe. Dude, I can't tell you how my heart opens just hearing those words, dude. Thank you for being a dad. So much love to you. Final thoughts. I made cookies too and support your cookie recovery. The solidarity. Yes, I stand with you. The strength. My wife does all the finances. I do the cooking and fixing. Balance. Balance. Balance in all things. That sounds fair to me, Brother Duck Dad. I don't see the add value in my life to raising someone else's children, but you enjoy. Joy Vive, it's love, right? That a person might have made decisions that they felt wasn't fair to themselves or to their children. And then they made a decision to change, right? Maybe move away from that person. Maybe that other person didn't feel having to raise kids for themselves in that time of their lives is fair. So they left, right? And then this person is left without a partner. And then you can still, that's still a whole ass person, right? Their ability to be loved doesn't diminish just because they have children. You can still love this person. And then if you start living with them, they have kids. What are you gonna do? Be like, yeah, dude, don't talk to me. We live together, but we're not friends. That just sounds awkward to me. So you might as well interact, right? And if you're gonna interact, you might as well be an adult and interact well. And that is what a father is, I believe, at least. Love you. Join me. Damn, dude. I feel like there's a lot of people, a lot of kids that would be a lot better off if things were easier, things were more fair. Things aren't fair. Very much not so. But they're getting more fair. At least I like to believe so. Right? Little by little. I'm like really watching all of the suffering is still happening. I am the war, the harm against women in Taliban ruled countries, the harm against people in like factory battery working, basically kids still getting exploited. I'm watching it. I'm seeing it too. It's not fair. But over the fractal of the last 10,000 years, has it changed? Right? I'm watching, in like the Industrial Revolution, kids like actually working in coal mines, right? Dying at the age of 6 because their lungs gave in. Like I honestly, I'd like to believe that we've moved, at least in some parts, past that. That is not the norm anymore. We're moving towards some sort of integrated realization, understanding, the oneness, right? The true oneness of all of us in this process. New experiences. Buff mode must be fed. Don't get too romantic. little humans are just like us, but with more magic in their hearts. Less baggage, less layers of self, the self that they think they are, the self that their ego convinces them that they are, right? There's more just pure consciousness, unfiltered. Joe, don't get too romantic. They also have mischief and slight evil without understanding of consequences of your patience. Duck Dad, I don't consider it evil. I consider it morbid curiosity, right? And I had that as a epiphany on the LSD trip during that festival, where we were talking about the horrors of humanity, right? The horrors of children, how we as kids did some fucked up shit. Like we did some fucked up shit as kids. You know what's the most fucked up thing that I still struggle with? The fact that as a kid, like in maybe like for like 4 years of my life, and not something I would do like as a activity, but something I would do during that time of my life, is like take a stick or take a panga, like a big blade, and then go and chop plants. Right? I would chop grass and I would cut like aloe vera plants. I would chop trees. And I guess that's just a part of me that was angry, right? Angry and not given any means to express that anger other than disapproval, other than shut up and be grateful. And I understand now more than ever that need as a masculine individual to say shut up and be grateful, right? Because you understand sacrifice in a way that a child doesn't. But you're also not willing to sacrifice your own ego, your own belief system about what is fair between you and a child, right? It's only fair that you listen to every single thing I say because you're a child and you know jack shit, right? Yeah, I'm a child, but I know that I don't feel good right now. I feel like I'm not loved or appreciated. And that's just as important as anything else, yo. Let kids speak. They also know. Okay, let me see what I missed. Man, I feel like I'm... Okay, not that far away at least. Joy, I don't raise someone else's children. I'm a guide to the younger humans in my life. I love and nurture whoever I can. The reward is the knowledge that I've passed on. Yeah, Joe knows. So much love. Then get up and feed the damn cat, Joy. Do it. It's not the breakfast. It's not their breakfast time. They get a specific time. Mine get lethal when I try to put it off. My sister sent a video of my nephew kicking in her belly, and my brains went, "What? This baby kicks so hard." This forming. That's horrifying, Sam. I'm trying. Try kicking. Copy pasta basically is happening in chat right now. My sister, that's absolute monster sometimes. I like slow living, but damn, where are we rushing to? The void seems fair to me. Exactly, dude. Like I'm tripping out that we came to that same, kind of trip. Yeah, but I pay my own bills, so I can't be be as monstrous as I want. I must go, everyone. Love you, Duck Dad. We'll see you again soon, dude. Good vibes, but the bear. Thank you for spending some time with us. So much love is being sent. Yeah. You should rename Pippi to Veruca. Veruca? Hey Google, who is Veruca? Veruca Salt is a character from Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory. She's the second golden ticket winner, even though she doesn't actually find it herself, and the third child to meet her endgame in the factory. Veruca is depicted as an immature, overindulged, and manipulative young girl. that's so hard. It's shame, Joy Beam. Why did Pippi just got like sniped? Pointing out her flaws. So brutal. So freaking brutal. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I'll call her Veruca ironically sometimes. But I like Pippi. She does look like a Pippi. As a Pippi with that. And it also makes her tail wiggle, right? She knows that Pippi is, yeah, I'm talking about you. She like stood up. She knows who she is. Sometimes I want to live in an old city with cool Gothic architecture. I'm tired of Michigan. It looks like communist Russia. Without snow, it can be depressing. What's stopping you, Connor? If that is what you want, manifest, choose. That's only fair, right? That you choose your life and then you get to live it. Because that's the way it works. How about that? Skip up, skip up. Sometimes, again, I really love the cooking process, but I don't want to know. I don't know why it's so hard work to cook for myself, and cooking for anyone else is like my heart indulging. I feel it's a portion thing sometimes. It's as you mentioned, a heart indulgence where watching someone else eat something that they enjoy and then they didn't have to do that, so there's that layer of appreciation. And technically it's not fair, so they are grateful to you for cooking for them as well, especially if they usually cook for themselves. There's an extra layer of that appreciation happening as well. Yeah, love. Just love, I guess. Just realized your picture is food, Connor. Mad respect. Connor's picture is food. I can't see what that is. Like straight up, just looks like a person melting into some sort of reality. I wouldn't get with someone who has kids. I don't want baby mama drama. I don't want someone else dictating what happens in my home because their kids are there. I don't want all the baggage. Life isn't fair. Let someone else deal with all of that. I agree and I understand with what you're saying, the place you're coming from, completely, right? I feel a part of me would also maybe want to have kids with someone, right? And then they're our kids, right? From like some sort of, again, societal norm, watching what is normal in my family upbringing, I get completely where you're coming from. All I'm saying is it is not fair, right? Life is not fair. And just because mistakes were made, you can call it a mistake if you want to, bad choices, uh, mistaken love even, right? Maybe infatuation and then overinvestment, whatever. Just because this event happens, I don't want to believe that there is no hope for love, right? And it's like, again, saying what we want to be true, saying what we want to be true, like loving the experience of still having that capability that your life is not over, ever. Your life is never over. You still get to have these experiences, infinitely so. Susanna, love that you got in the vinyl. It sounds like butter. That sounds sick. I get the new vinyl too. That's the fractal joy. Some people don't feel that way. Exactly. The green and orange pressing. So much love. Sometimes I don't even know what direction I'm going to take in my life because I feel like I'm forced to work 40 hours a week in this ridiculous cycle called work, and I just want to be free as a bird. Make a plan, Sena. That's the only advice I can give. And I don't give it from this perspective of believing that I know more than you, but that is the only thing that has given me any semblance of change in my life, right? It's okay to work a 40-hour job right now. But if that is not what you want to continue doing, make a plan, evaluate the skills you have, find a need, right? Either for yourself or your heart. And technically doing that is actually the best, right? You are the largest niche in the universe. Like there's nothing as rare as a human being. You're like the most valuable creme de la creme. You just get to be yourself. And then you make a plan for how you want to be yourself, what part of yourself you want to be, right? You make it fair by at least choosing, showing up for something. And then over the next 10 years, Sena, working this 40-hour job, you can start contributing to this plan that you have. 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, an hour a day. And over those 10 years, I promise you, you can hold me to it. Damn it, this feels like a trip. I feel like 10 years from the future, you are holding me to it. So I'm serious about this. If you work on the thing you dearly love, and that thing is in its essence truth for love, right? Love for humanity, love for yourself, love for, the people around you, love for your environment. And you do that for 10 years, it will support you. In the same way that you supported that dream of yours, your dream will support you. The universe, this infinite universe that we're a part of, will support you too. And I might be wrong. I might be, And that's why I trip out about 10 years from now. You actually holding me to it because it's like video evidence, right? But damn it, I'd be stunned. I'd be stunned to be wrong. And I'd be so sad as well, honestly, right? If all of us collectively started working for the things that we loved, right? For a single hour, if every single human being went outside and picked up trash or, did some maintenance on technology or cars or buildings, some paint. Like, just think about that. All humans just had, $1,000 hour per day or whatever, right? Where they actually, that sounds a little bit extreme. I'm sorry. $100 hour. That could be done, theoretically, right now. Where they actually, had the opportunity to, for 1 hour a day, do the thing and have funding, to do the thing that they love. And that thing also contributes to humanity, right? Because I feel like a part of us needs that purpose. Like whatever you do, love, remember, and serve. Those are our fundamental, at least this is what I believe, purposes in this world. To love, to remember, and to serve, right? To remember that you're supposed to serve, and that you remember to serve by loving those around you. And then if we can do that, I'm thinking just in this moment, about two of you friends immediately. Like Shannon started with this Medicine Mother batch remedy, like aromatherapy, and like having used these oils myself, I can honestly say that they create this sense of calm in me. And I am a person that likes nice things, when it comes to smells, especially. Just having that experience and then watching her grow through this fractal. And then Duck Dad as well, who's been a beautiful example and a vocal one recently, where he wants to help other families grow food in their yards, right? And, starting a nursery for chili plants and stuff like that. Showing up for these dreams incrementally, right? It's going to take time. I think that's the thing that really sucks. It doesn't feel fair sometimes. That the same amount of time that it takes you to build a real career in anything, right? In being a doctor, in being an engineer, in et cetera, to really earn a high-paying salary, you have to be willing to invest that same time in your dream, right? And it doesn't have to happen all at the same time. You have time. We all have so much time. And we're probably gonna have more time than we've ever had before. We're gonna probably have some sort of wacky time dilation shit coming in our future as well. I think about that. Like it's gonna be a weird ride. So humor me. I'm not saying this is true, but it is something I can envision. We figure out how to really understand the neural brain chemistry, right? And we know right now that if you have a high dopamine experience, your perception of time is extremely misplaced in the way where a lot of time can pass without you taking note of time as a passing, right? Where a consistent ability to keep time is a consistent feeling, baseline of dopamine release, where it's like a ticking clock in your brain, right? Keeping you active and engaging in this experience. And then when you have more dopamine, that gap increases and it hits a lot like wider, longer gaps of time are taken at the same time, but your measuring of that time is stretched out, right? So to do the opposite, to in a way reduce that dopamine gap, right? That oscillation, you could potentially slow down time to fractions of what we're experiencing it as right now. And then we could articulate, have conversations with self-bettering models for hundreds of years in days. You can grow for hundreds of years in days, potentially. And this might be like 40 years with the AI and the singularity coming, maybe closer. Would we want to do that? Is that fair? Is that fair? That's a wacky question to ask, to even consider. What does fair even mean when people have like actual superpowers? Life isn't fair. Let someone else deal with that. Sometimes I don't even know the direction I'm going to take in my life because I feel that I'm forced to work this 40-hour, let me freeze a bird, or wild child that I always am. What could I do to go back and find my authentic self? Do what you love. And I feel I'm very much not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about it from the perspective of it lets you endure, right? Do the things that let you endure, that inspire your heart to endure, no matter how hard it gets. I'm here with you, Sena. I'm figuring it out myself, little by little, day by day, moment by moment, we're learning. We're not lost. It's about flexibility and adaptability. You must first realize that you or I are not the only one that is living in this world. Sometimes we just have to be gentle and accommodating to others. Exactly. There's so many statements, of course. I'm only speaking for myself. We know Joy Vive, and it creates an experience, right? We get to receive you lovingly and share back our opinions when that opinion is shared. And that's how we have a constructive conversation. We have different points of view. And then that difference of points of view creates more perspective in a whole, right? Like imagine if we were as a conversation, as a topic, the topic of marrying or being with someone who has kids, not with you, right? As a topic. And now we have a bunch of different perspectives at the same time. And this topic might be painted within words as a two-dimensional object from only one perspective. And then hearing someone else's perspective casts a whole new light, creating a whole extra layer of depth that you get to understand this world from. And that's what I believe we're actively doing every day, growing, manifesting a fractal of understanding, of experience. Damn, so the synchronicity is crazy. Doomsday is next on the list. Nah, I don't believe that, dude. There is no such thing as a doomsday. This doomsday has been coming for all of eternity for humans. There has never, look at me, I know I'm far away. There has never been a moment in time where there hasn't been people spouting doomsday nonsense. Right? It's always going to be doomsday soon, always. And sure, things have been up and down the dark ages. Like people, like most of the doomsday nonsense we have written down right now was in the dark ages. Think about that shit. Our current conditioning for hell and for how bad things are and our bad things are gonna get has been like almost ingrained in our DNA from that period in our time. And then we came through the Enlightenment, right? And we have gone beyond what now would be considered fair so far. and yet there's still inequality at the same time, right? It's paradoxical. You friends, all of us have to change it. There's going to be no doomsday that's going to save us, right? Think about that. Some people look forward to doomsday because it saves them from responsibility. Even if they have to suffer, at least they don't have to worry about responsibility because, oh, the doomsday is coming, right? Oh, the world's going to end. I don't have to do anything because the world's ending pretty much tomorrow, like in 19 minutes or whatever. The world's ending in 19 minutes. I don't have to do anything. I only have these 19 minutes, right? It's like an out. It's like an out for humanity, and we always have this apocalyptic thinking because it is fear-based, right? And fear is familiar because you know how you feel when you're scared. You know, you're like, yeah, this sucks. I know how this feels. And then you know how to feel about the things you feel, and you don't have to be challenged. And you get to echo the same fractals, and you can consume content that reaffirms the fractal that you want to believe in. And you construct from these different perspectives a simulacrum of your belief system, right? Is it fair? I think so, in a weird way. Does it create a lot of cognitive dissonance? Yeah, even in me. I feel it happening right now. Like I'm watching myself analyzing. Am I saying the right words? Right? And then I'm like, shit, who is that version of me judging what's right in this moment? And then I'm like, shit, who's that version of me judging the version of me that's judging? And then I'm like, right? Right? Like there's cognitive dissonance. And then it's like the perspective. You build perspective on your perspective, and then you inform your perspective of the things you choose to consume. You become what you consume in every fractal. Is that fair? So odd. It's so odd. It's kind of, I don't know if it's intimidating or scary, but it does feel synchronous, infinite, very much so. It's intimidating in the way where, again, even if you could travel at the speed of light, even if you could go towards your goals, right? Experience, love, upliftment of yourself and your fellow person, betterment of society. Even if you could do that, it will always have this tinge of what is fair, right? And that what is fair question will always be a spiral that wow, the observer observing the observer, observing the observer, observing the, and it's going to continue. So even if we can continue into that fractal infinitely fast, we're never going to get there. So we have to be here. Realize that this is the fairest conclusion we could have come to in this very moment, and that it can change. Sometimes it might feel more unfair than it did yesterday. Sometimes it might feel more fair than it did yesterday. But that is the most fair conclusion we've come to, because here we are. What a stream. You friends inspire me to the point where I honestly feel like my brain is no longer there, and I can just say words. It's not like it's no longer there in the way where it's empty. It's more where my brain used to be is now filled with clouds, is the best description that I can come to, right? Like all of these clouds, all of these, like imagine all of it, and then where my brain used to be, and like opening of my skull, metaphysically, there's just clouds. And I feel like I'm literally flying through the clouds right now. And I feel weirdly anchored because I have you friends here with me. And now I'm, again, the part of me that's reflecting is like, you are insane. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm making perfect sense. Thank you very much. I understand what I'm saying. And it's like, yeah, That's what makes you insane, dude. Like, please. I'm not. What's wrong? Honestly, I'm only grasping at straws. My world is happy when I'm in service. The love is the reward, and the companionship is necessary. We are social animals after all. Remember, but share that stuff, dude. Like, you literally just laid out that entire rule, right? Serve. You were like, literally, I'm happy when I'm in service. That is one rule that we're here for, to serve. Then love is the reward. There you go. And then you said beautifully, sharing the love is the single. Wait a second. The companionship is necessary. We are social animals after all. Remember that that is what we're here for, each other, right? Again, from the question of wanting everything, right? And asking ourselves, is that fair? If you could get everything from the pseudo perspective of every single person on earth gets wiped out like that, right? You're mono, one person on the entire planet. You're alone. Technically, defaulting, everything is yours now. All the nice cars, all the shiny rings, all the cool tech just drops to the ground with the people no longer standing there. And now it's yours because you're the only person on the planet to use it, right? Do you want that? Would that be fair? Or do you think you want to keep this experience? And some people probably would want that, right? And I honestly believe that they would have it and then they would lose their minds and die. So let's remember that we're here for each other and live in love and service. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Joe. So close. PM the Discord music. Joe, you're a complex and beautiful creature. The human connection is the most necessary fractal. Sharing your love is the single most good you could possibly do. Connor, dude. Yeah, I agree. Just threw it in the Discord channel. Thank you. Sena, work is rewarded by the universe. You can just stop being a piece of your lifestyle and expect it to be the same. But I promise you that the world will support you and place you in comfort. Keep showing up. One of the things that Christian says to me is that no effort is ever wasted, right? The effort that you put into your work as well isn't wasted because you're the one that put in that effort, right? That is what you get, that effort you put into it, right? Surely you gave a lot, but that is what you get as well. So putting in work, putting in the 40 hours for an employer as well, while you need to support your family, support yourself, while building towards putting in some of that effort, right? Making it a balance, putting 10% of the effort you put into your workplace, 5% of the effort you put into your workplace, into yourself, into your families, into your relationships, into your health, right? It's a process. You're like chipping away. We would like to snap our fingers and have these things manifest instantaneously, but I do believe in manifestation, but I believe this reality's manifestation has a delay. Just a little bit of a delay. A little bit of a delay in the spectrum of your human lifetime, but basically instantaneous in the scale of the universe, right? Think about this. The universe is billions, 13.8 billion years is the scientific estimate, right? And I don't know if that's the truth, but years old. And you get to live like 100-year lifetime, at least to the current fractal that we are exposed to. And you want something, right? A partner, children, a new car, a house to live in, and then you work 40 years and then you get all of those things, right? I feel it's not that far of a stretch. That's in a 40-year time frame. Within billions of years, you as a being go from being a naked baby to manifesting these things into your life, right? Literally within like a fraction of 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 the time scale of this universe, you create that much change. And then we consider ourselves weak. We don't believe in our own power, right? And I feel not believing not remembering who you are is the most unfair and at the same time fair thing that this whole ego we have constructs for ourselves. Whew, man. Music is food for the soul. Don't just eat anything. Trying to find yourself is like trying to look at your forehead. Once you stop looking, you find it. Trying to look at your forehead or trying to point at the single place that your consciousness resides in, right? It's like, do I point in here? I feel like in this moment, I have like a focus ball of consciousness, and then like that focus ball of consciousness is almost like the center of the torus within the whole of consciousness. And then that focus hole, I can like point at things, and then it transports my consciousness, or at least that part of my consciousness, into this part of myself, and then it flows back out. I'm sorry. But that again, you can't point at it because it is a 3-dimensional /4/5 like non-Euclidean geometric shape that is you, and within you constitutes, the thing. Like, we might be in this reality like on the surface of one of those torus fields, like a chip, like a little flat disk. Our entire universe. Please, please, please. Okay. It was just whap, zwam, zwam, squat up, squat. Pippi, I wanna go and get my joint. Maybe you're laying on me for a good reason. Maybe you're like trying to get me stuck. I'll accept. After sunlight, air, and water, money is the most common thing on this planet. Don't let money be the thing that makes you sacrifice your spirit. Ooh, what a quote, dude. What a quote. That one is going in the folder. I'm gonna save that quote into a folder. Give me. Oh man. Sicketh. After sunlight, air, and water, money is the most common thing on this planet. Don't sacrifice your spirit for it. Dude, thank you for sharing that with me. And it's the crazy part about it to me is the fact that we're creating more of it, right? Like, think about that. Just in that gap, there now is more money than there was just before I, spent a moment in that gap. And now there is more money still. Oh, and look at that, the money continues to flow. Oh, look at that, more money. How about it? Okay. Wait, Mel, do you mean doing stuff is the dopamine receptor of the actual dopamine? Because people describe SSRIs, antidepressants, as their 3-second pill when you feel the flight or stress. Technically, SSRIs are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, right? So they act on the serotonin system, more the feeling part of yourself, I believe, the part of yourself that is perceiving the information you're experiencing, right? But I'm also not too familiar with, like, the whole of science isn't too familiar with how that whole process works. Mel talking about the real doomsday without Mel knowing who MF Doom is very entertaining. Thank you for making fun of me. I accept. This guy is really pretty. I'm so happy that I get to share it. I wish I could change exposure limits. Whoa, just saw a lightning strike. Doom, not to confuse with nobody, especially since the flaws he used are nutty. Doomsday, it's a MF album. Yeah, silly melty. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not as cultured as you, friend. I don't have a chip in my brain yet that tells me all of the cultural information that you kids know. You kids are
I already see myself as Melty with a with a walking cane. You kids with your MF dooms. And he's like, Mel, that's insensitive. No, no, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just I'm stupid. I'm right there with you, Mel. Whoosh for me. Okay, thank you, Joe, for being there in solidarity with me. Glad you have an immaculate music taste. Peppy passed out. Yeah, she's completely KO'd. Jaju, I keep telling myself that the energy is the most powerful currency of the universe. Money is a tool that humans use to quantify it. And people can't quantify how much energy they get, right? And as soon as they try to, it becomes very skewed, very, very skewed very quickly. So we try not to. Jovan, I like that. That is a wild way to say it, Joe. I'm so happy to see you friends resonating with that message. It's also one that I really resonate with. Something that I feel has become a truth in my life where you're ceaselessly expending your energy. Right? Yeah, and just that. That is a way to say it, Joe. Before money, energy first. Create productive energy over destructive energy. Sure. I feel I need to hear that too right now, Jovan. Thank you so much for sharing that message. How much does a dollar really cost, Kendrick Lamar? It is a good question. Probably a lot, weirdly enough. What a trip, huh? A dollar probably costs a lot. Man, that is weird. I want to have foster home and adopt and grow a family with my future life partner on a farm, but mostly I want to be a counselor to all people, and I love to help people and be a positive light they need. Well, that sounds like a good plan, Sena. So, and I feel very actionable. Save enough money to maybe start the down payment on a farm or get a loan on a farm, right? And then with this farm, maybe start growing food and then make it potentially a community event where with this food that you grow, you feed people, you teach people how to grow food of their own, in the way that, Duck Dad is doing as well right now. Be the positive light that they need, create community on this farm of yours where people can come if they are in a state of need, right? The dream can be manifested. Start building out the fractal. I can only in part imagine what you could see for yourself, right? And I believe you are the one that can dream big. Food for thought, tuners. It's pretty much had as much value as you are willing to put into it. All of the eye of the beholder. It is just numbers on a screen when you really think about it. Yet those numbers decide your security, comfort, and lifestyle. It's true. Fictitious rewards, also true, right? Again, would I have a significant increase in life experience if someone just, drove a truck, right? One of those loader trucks full of cash and dropped it on me, right? No, I don't think I would be having a better time, right? Maybe I sit a little bit more to the left and they drop it next to me. I'd probably be shocked. I'd probably start thinking about what I could do with this money. But in a weird way, that is literally going to rob me of the peace that I get to have in this moment. Right? As I believe Joe said, fictitious rewards. That the biggest reward you can give yourself is contentment. And again, it can create apathetic behaviors because you can be so content that you can live underneath a bridge. And I honestly believe I would be able to. I'd be able to live underneath a bridge. I'd create like a nice whole posse for myself. And I'd probably still be a jack hobo. I'd still exercise and I'd have my stick, right? So I'd defend my hobo bridge. And I would live. I would probably listen to the water with the hobo bridge that is built over, right? I'd be like, ah, yes, the flow of water and my nice little hammock. I would be able to be content with that, begging for food or whatever. But I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair, honestly, where it would be still an experience. But that amount of contentment with my reality would also not allow me to help my fellow people, right? My family. Just first and foremost, just being able to uplift my mom so she doesn't have to, sleep as late with all of her baking. Just so that I can, empower my sister to be creative as well. My brother, he wants to create a whole business with 3D printing stuff right now. To be able to give him, a push, give him the resources that he needs, to build something. And then it creates this, again, what's fair, right? Contentment, yes, to be okay with just sitting on the ground and having a conversation right now, but also building, right? Wanting more, and then asking ourselves, is that fair? Oh, I want more, but I should be content. But my contentment can stop me from helping people. Helping people can make me want more. I want more. I don't feel content. Ebb and flow, ebb and flow. Writing that line of what fair is. Fair is the whole of your life, right? The final measuring even. And all you can really take responsibility for is how fair you make it. How many chips you put in from your side to make it more fair, right? Even if things are hard, even if you're having a hard experience, is it fair to take your bad experience out on other people, right? And then you obviously come up with an answer. So you're like, well, if I kept doing things that were unfair towards other people, towards my world, towards myself, at the end of your life, you're not going to be surprised. It's going to be fair because you're the one that chose what is fair to you. And helping people, service, love, and remembering who you are, right, is, I feel, what we should show up for as our metric for what should be fair. That's what I believe, at least. All of us get to believe our own things. Pretty much had that value. Numbers on the screen again. I like money. Absolutely, you can. 40% of all US dollars were printed this last year. This is true, but I'm also thinking about what that dollar means with the amount of labor. And I'm thinking about cost way beyond monetary value. I'm thinking about human suffering. I'm thinking about exploitation. I'm thinking about inequality, right? Deliberate inequality as a means to extract more wealth from people, right? As that dollar as well. Like, the cost is astronomical. I like Doritos, gotta love inflation. Yeah, now you get less Doritos in your packet and you have to pay more for it. Right? That's what eating all of the Doritos and wanting to eat more Doritos eventually apparently begets us. Late stage capitalism, here we go, peeps. Woo! Roller coasters! We burn old money, right, Connor? We're always printing new money. This is also true. Doritos are the worst chips, but I still love you, Susanna. What does that even mean, Joy? The amount of spices coming out. I want to tell each and every single one of you how beautiful and significant you are in my morning. I seriously appreciate you, as we do you, Brother Joe. Thank you for contributing in the way that you have in this space today, man. I'm feeling very spicy this morning. Y'all have no idea how much I'm holding myself back right now. I feel it. That's why I'm like, I mean, Javiv is already guns out. Just like, you say some whack shiznit one more time. I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Thank you for being loving. I know it's not fair, Javiv. I know it's not fair, but I can see your strength in this moment. Joyviv always got that spice. I enjoy you immensely. I want a castle with a moat that's filled with sharks with fucking lasers. Do it. Why not? Why not, Joyviv? If you have 80 years, right? I believe you might even more. 80 years to build something. Get yourself a castle with a moat and a ship with fucking laser sharks. Why not? Do it. What's stopping you? The laser sharks will probably be animatronics, but I mean, they'll still be laser sharks. They'll be freaking laser sharks. So much love. I'm tempted. I'll take care of your cats if you let me live in your castle. Gang, gang. More money, more problems. Exactly. Castle be big so you can come. The kids can stay in the nursery. Damn, Joy V. Can I stay with you when people turn into zombies? We'll have the whole treadmills on the outside of the castle thing set up as well. We'll have the whole shebang. Zombies. Melty, bridge life ain't that bad. It gets old, but it's doable. Yeah, it is, right? And I've had not bridge life, but I've had sleeping on other people's couch life. That's the closest I've gotten. And I was at that time of my life, like peak level of happiness, actually. I still look fondly back at those moments. Like for 2 months, I was just sleeping on a couch, eating the bare minimum, stealing peanut butter late hours of the night, right? I feel like I've gone far enough past those moments in my life that I can share these embarrassing secrets. But I would, like late at night when everybody was sleeping, eat people's peanut butter. Okay, I accept all of the, yeah, I know. And it was so great to me because most of my time was filled just spending, moments with friends, sitting and having conversations. It really was a cool experience. The amount of love. What a trip. But we change. We know that that's not fair, right? To them at least. That wasn't the point. No. Multi-bridge life. Yo, quick request. What is a good AI art generator? Working on a project for a friend, Midjourney. Jovan, I'll actually, let me do it right now. Let me magic with my technologies. Zwam, 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 zwam. Zwam, 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 zwam. Zwam, zwam, zwam. Let's go to channel permissions. Advanced view. Add member. Jobot. View channel. Just send messages. Attach files even. Sicketh. You now have the power of paid Midjourney. Joyviv. Make art. Make some artness. Let me do this as well. Juju, drop, juju, bow, bow. Now I'm gonna do like a little thing as well, just to show you friends what this is all about. I'm gonna say, imagine love is true. Just so simple. Let's see what it comes up with. I could give like a bunch of extra, flowery prompts, and it will give me a lot more. But this will give me something. I'll come a little bit closer. Let's see how long it's gonna take it to give me at least something. There it goes. Oh man, it's giving me something. It looks like horror at first. Looks like a movie poster even. Let me show you that skyline maybe for a little bit. Oh wow. I think I like the pets one always. Please, I hope that comes out so. Let's see. Any moment now. Boom. So this is the art that the prompt Love is True created. And then you can pick out of these. I think this person had his wife turned into a dog as well, which is some nightmare fuel level shiznit. and especially with Love is True, and this dude looks like he believed love is true, and he got himself super fucked up. This person at least looks like they would be willing to do anything for love, even go through extreme pain. They were willing to live. And then there's a romantic one as well. Hot people. Hot people being hot.
and the dude's face looking like it's kind of melting into the other person. Artificial intelligence. You want to sit on my lap again? Sure. Come. I'm squirting. I want to teach each and every single one of you how beautiful and significant you are in my mornings. I seriously appreciate that. Thank you. I think I've read the one already, but it's just so beautiful that I had to read it again. I'm feeling very spicy. Okay. I think I'm far down. Melt, I'm stealing peanut butter. It's the worst you've done. We'll all then be doing pretty good. I guess that's true. Yeah. I remember, love is being sent. I remember very viscerally Christian being the one person that would call me out on that shit. Right? And he did it so interestingly. Like he did it from a place of concern because I was also losing a lot of weight at that point of my life. Surprise, surprise. And he just like put his hand on my shoulder and he was like, Estian, you need to feed yourself. Right? And it was like him saying something to me, but also saying it to me, right? Where I was like, this dude is tuning me. I should stop eating his peanut butter. And I did. I did. Oh, it was a trip. Coach life. Wait a second. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, Mel, I want to teach kids how to grow food and teach them how to treat animals with love and share this with the community. You can do that, Sena. You can do that. I believe in you, friend. Write it down, right? And then break it down. Actionable steps. For the next 10 years, I'm going to save X amount of money towards my dream that is starting a farm, buying a farm, and then uplifting the community, right? And by that time, we're gonna have so much technology that a lot of the labor is probably gonna be taken care of as well, right? And you can still teach people how to do it themselves, but we'll be able to grow our food at home, and it's going to be fun, right? It doesn't have to be a nightmare, and we can teach kids that as well. I'm looking forward to this future, Sena. I'm looking forward to your future. Coach life is the luxury, dude. When you really drop the ego, it doesn't seem to matter where you are. Ego is constant and it returns eventually. But for those brief moments of living and love, couch life is luxury life. Yeah, it's true, dude. Such a beautiful fractal. If I caught you eating peanut butter in the kitchen in the middle of the night, I think I would laugh so hard. Like silent laugh, mouth open, tears, unable to breathe. I was so scrawny at that point. I weighed like 72 kilograms. Like I'm 9 kilograms heavier right now, maybe a little bit more than that. And I've gained some muscle since then as well. I was like really scrawny. I was like not looking good. I was like a hungry wolf eating peanut butter. I would have probably like shat myself realizing that you're in the room with me. And if you started laughing, I'd probably go into complete fear mode and start running, hiding in the cupboards or something, you know, between the Tupperware. So embarrassed. Uh, the freedom of understanding that which we really need is an eye opener. It has given me a level of appreciation that I would never be able to experience if I had not made that choice. It was a choice. I wasn't forced into life on the road. I went to be outside of the hustle. It's wild. Thank you, Joe, for continuing to choose, dude, for realizing just because you've made one choice doesn't mean that's the choice you have to stick with forever, right? The sunk cost fallacy. And you can change your mind. You can work on something for 2 years and then decide, I don't know if this is for me, and then do something else. You can do that. You don't have to do it forever if you hate it. Uh-huh. The freedom. I love how Mel looked at the camera and asked if we wanted to sit on his lap.
Look at Puppy's ears. She's like, yeah, Puppy, you hear that? They want to come and sit on my lap. And then that means there's going to be no space for you, Puppy. What do you think about that? Do you see that, those ears? As the, oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah. Other people get the attention that I'm supposed to be getting. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell, none of that. Oh, do you think there is true evil or true good in the world, or is it all gray? I think it is all perception, right? If you grew up in a world where people were always, harming one another in one way or another, it might be normal to you to harm others, right? It might not be considered bad to you. But because we have the ability to consult one another, to reflect together, we have come to some sort of conclusion of what is fair. And I feel all we have to do is get better. We just have to get a little bit better at a time. That's going to allow us to at least get closer to good or bad, as you say. Long stream, it's nice, isn't it? I feel here with you, Heather. I don't sit, I won't sit in your lap, Melty, but I'll smoke with you. Does that count? Yes. I'll smoke with you too. I've been poor before, it's terrible. I would go full supervillain if I had to, and meant ensuring I was never poor and hungry again. Yep. And I believe, oh goodness, fair life. If we can create a fair life, I'm getting my ass kicked, for everybody, we wouldn't need supervillains like that. Love you, Susanna. I saw a GTG. Got to go. I have a virtual psychiatrist appointment in like 10 minutes. I have to get my driver license back. I support your self-betterment and self-actualization, Susanna. Have a good time with your meeting. I see it opening things up. Humans gaining even more strength. I see you. Have a good time. We'll see you again soon, friend. So yeah, again, if we can create a fair life where everybody gets to eat food, everybody gets to drink water, everybody gets to live somewhere, right? Then we won't need people that are killing each other, right? That's still gonna happen. Drug wars and the likes. We should be decriminalizing drugs as well for the same reason. Could be some other sort of contraband. I know. Maybe never we'll get it to be perfectly fair, but damn it, can we try? We can try. 11:11. I've been showing up for 11:11s. All my meditations today were 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Connor, I believe there is true good and true evil. Some people have empathy and some don't. There we go. My bestie once told me I lacked empathy. I don't exactly agree with that, but I do tend to keep it on a short leash. I'd be more empathetic if more people were cats, but they aren't. Why don't you see them as cats, JB? How about you just make that mental switch? I see people as trees. I don't know if that is derogative, if that makes you less. In a weird way, it gives me a slower perspective, a little bit more of a nuanced perspective on a person, right? And I think it was beautifully shared by Ram Dass, where he mentioned that if you see a tree growing skew, right, and there's a big tree in the middle, and this tree is kind of growing skew to the side, you're not going to be like, yeah, look at that piece of shit skew tree, right? You're gonna be like, oh yeah, there's a big tree here, so he probably wanted some sunlight, so he grew that because that was his situation, his circumstance. And then we can see that, right? We can see that this tree is a little bit crooked because of its upbringing, because of where it grew up, because of the environment that it was in and the way it had to grow in order to survive that environment. And it allows me a little bit more peace with seeing people that are different than me, seeing them as trees. Seeing them as cats might be cool as well, though. Like Shelby has like a little gap out of her ear, and I think about that. We got her like that, and I wonder, like, was she in like some sort of fight in her previous life before she had us as owners? Like, was it some sort of fungal infection? Did she survive? I just see this as a little part of her story, and I don't think of her as ugly, right? If like a person, for example, had like a big gap out of their ear, I'd probably have like a different reaction, or maybe like a more shocked, like, oh, this is tragic type of reaction. But technically, your ear would still be earring, even if you had like a whole little gap out of it. Maybe it will be a little bit worse, but you'll still be able to hear, like she's also still able to hear. And yeah, seeing people as beautiful, seeing every part of them as a part of the story, right? Not something to be judged necessarily. I gotta go soon again. Love to you. Drive on. A child that is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. There we go. Tune said tunes. It made me giggle because I'm dumb. Ramdas told us to look at people like trees. Bam. Connecting, dude. Yeah, connecting, bro. It was my love for the burby burbs and the little critters that taught me how capable I was of love. Love for myself came to this place with mega insecurities and confidence issues, and also love for the ones that cause me dissonance. There's always room to grow. Every single opportunity, every single circumstance, every single happening that you might not even enjoy is an opportunity for you to grow, right? Infinitely. And you don't have to grow super fast always, 1%, right? If you can grow 1% a day, that's enough. Love you, dear friends. Thank you for joining us. Priest Joe, all the love on our journey of self-acceptance and growth. Absolutely, dude. Joy Vive saying it's a tag to show that she's a fixed feral. Apparently she's not. Apparently she's not fixed, right? That's a conversation we had. Without having to go to the vet to find out. Wow, I don't know if the weed is speaking, but seeing people like trees is a dope. I love trees and nature, especially when I smoke weed or on mushrooms. In a weird way, mushrooms and weed allowed me to see trees, right, for the first time. It was almost like trees were just things. And then I realized the story, right? I started, as I look at things, reversing it into its infantile state and then acknowledging how much time, effort had to be spent for it to be exactly as beautiful as it is right now. And some of them die, right? Like this tree does not look at its peak right now, but still it has a story, right? It looks that way because of extreme frost and a lot of its branches died. But that doesn't make it ugly. It just changes it. I still do want to give it some vines, some friends. I don't know. To be speaking. Hello, everyone. Grace, sending you vibes, friend. Thank you for joining us. Learning that people you hate are living in your head rent-free. Frees your mind from the thought pattern. This is true, dude. And it's something that you're worthy of. Free yourself. Free yourself. Forgive people. Not for them, but for you, right? You forgive people for you. As soon as you forgive that other person, now you are free to think about other things. It's for you. I hate is harsh. I dislike people, but do I hate anyone? Dislike people. I feel when we have a certain comfort level and we only accept a certain type of energy into our environment, it is hard spending time with general people. I agree. But that usually comes from an expectation, right, Joyviv? Like we expect people to behave a certain way. And weirdly enough, I was thinking about that recently in the context of like our stream that we did at the festival. There was one friend who I think like showed us his ass and flipped us off at the same time on the stream. And I could still smile at this dude and just, love him. And I was just like, this dude is having the time of his life, probably. And he's not thinking. And that's okay because that's the environment we're in, technically, right? So who am I to say that this is not appropriate behavior? And it was this trip, this fractal of, yeah, sometimes people can do things that we dislike, but instead of creating like a whole story about how angry we are or how this is a major injustice, we just take it less seriously. We're just like, some of this bullshit again. How about that? How about that? I refuse to use the word hate. It's ugly and corrosive. I don't actually hate anyone, just a way of getting the point across. It's like an extreme, right? We don't love them, we hate them, right? Like we're communicating at which spectrum, which side of the spectrum our feelings towards them is. And it's the same spectrum, right? It's like darkness and light, hot and cold. At which point does it start being hot? And at which point does it start being cold on the temperature scale, right? And if you were way hotter, does the temperature scale will change? And then the amount of light you emit, right? You see what I'm saying? I hope so, at least. The trips, you are that. You are that. And depending on what you believe is fair is where you create the balancing point. Gotcha. I really spend time observing hatred. It always turns into either pity or sadness. Yeah, I try not to spread those feelings in any way with my voice. Not saying these things that we don't want to be true. Definitely used to hate myself. Same, actually, Connor. Which, with more time, is fundamentally love. If I really spend time observing hatred, it always turns into pity or sadness, which with more time is fundamentally love. Right? It's just a separation from that love that you have, or a fear. That hatred can come from a fear as well, where we can fear a person taking something from us, or making our lives harder, zero-sum type of mentality. Off topic, my computer just locked out and the random authentication was 24477. I saw 3 different instances of 444 today, and I was like, oh, and now you sending me more 44s. Let me see if I can see more. There's 11 friends watching right now. 66% battery on this one. Let's see. 36. So close to 34. That one is 41. Yeah, okay. My mind is like, where? Show me synchronicity. Maybe. We'll do it with this. Connor, you're growing, dude. It is clear to some of us. It's clear to most of us, I believe. That's horrible to hear, Connor. Feeling more loving to yourself. I feel probably all of us went through moments of hating ourselves for one reason or another, right? Either for a decision we've made in the moment, or for decisions we've made over time, or for a certain expectation we have of ourselves and our inability to meet it instantaneously, right? Like there's a lot of reasons for us to figure out how to hate ourselves. I had a conversation with a psychologist, or at least she called herself that, where she said it's impossible for us to love ourselves. And I was like, whoa. No, I don't think so, at least. You're growing, dude. So much love. Card time. Okay, this is the one. Let's see. Ooh. Blue and yellow. Dude. That's pretty trippy, though. I feel like you guessed first, Joe. Main card blue, and these lines definitely have yellows. Hands holding the earth, or at least she's called herself that. Oh snap! I mean, and as she like prefaced the conversation we had with the fact that she's a psychologist, and then I shared from that perspective. Like I think she was on stream a little bit as well, right? So I had more conversations with her, And one of the things she said is that we're incapable of loving ourselves. And I was like, I'm gonna have to stop you there. Oh, it was hands. Hands, dude. Look at them hands. Or at least she called herself that again. Earth prayers. This card is one of my favorites. I feel like we've been having an earth prayer this whole time. Card number 4. More 4s. Yes. Yes, the 4 to your 44 to make it the 4th instance of triple 4 that I've seen today. That is actually pretty trippy. Thank you, Jovan. I didn't even click that. Sounds sus to me. Where is the literature on not loving yourself? I don't know either, dude, but I don't believe it. I'll make it possible. Stewardship and sustainability, right? That sounds crazy. Straight up insanity. We can be the exception, right? If it's impossible, we'll do the impossible, because even the impossible is doable within infinity. The box contains everything. Anything you can imagine, and then some. Stewardship and sustainability. We're in the box that is Earth right now, right? Embedded in this card is complex geometry, beginning as the flower of life and then transforming into a tetrahedral pattern, forming a protective divine matrix around the planet. With the birth portal at the center of the Vesica Pisces, our home, Mother Earth shines in beauty and grace. Grace is actually here. Grace Hand, right? How about that? Thank you for joining us, Grace. Mother Earth shines in beauty and grace. Many colored hands surround and reside within these patterns, symbolizing participation of all beings in stewardship and sustainability. Stewardship denotes, we were talking about sustainability with like helping people grow their own food and stuff as well, and that's stewardship of the earth as well, right? Stewardship denotes understanding that there is spirit in everything and that everything is connected. It implies awareness that each of our actions, whether it is growing a vegetable, cutting a tree, or using natural resources, affects the whole. Even our thoughts have this power. Being stewards of the earth doesn't mean living without abundance or placing judgment on the actions of others or ourselves, measuring if it's fair or not, right? Oh man, I'm getting so cold out. It does mean living with a sense of connectedness and relationship with all beings and respect for the earth. Several indigenous tribes believe we must consider the effects of all our actions and demonstrate stewardship to be affected as you can. My brain is straight up melting because I know what's coming. It's going to be a 777, allowed for as well. Let's start that again. How might your daily actions and decisions be affected as you consider their effects even 7 generations into the future? That's a trip, right? Think about that. Everything you do, how is that going to influence things 7 generations into the future? There's 7 updates right now, 11 friends watching. As you consider this question and feel the tenderness of this time in Earth's story, realize also the power of your prayers and intentions. See and feel the earth is abundant and self-sustaining. See and feel humans treading lightly upon her land and making decisions that will defend rather than wound the earth. How can you more fully live with an attitude of stewardship? Yasi, Bobasi. Like that is almost an uncomfortable amount of synchronicity. On day 774, right? So even more 77. Like this is 7 and then 77 and then 4 4 4 4 and then 4 and then 7 and 7 and then 4. And that's what Matthias like this dude is losing his mind. I need to get off of him right now. Wait, what the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, so much love. I was just talking about this with my coworker yesterday. We are showing up for the synchronicities that we want to see. Raise hand. Little by little, moment by moment, we will create this future that we all know we deserve. It's gonna take time. Welcome to awareness. Yeah, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's probably gonna be hard. It's probably not gonna be fair. But that's not gonna stop us. That's not gonna be the thing that's gonna be like, yeah, well, it's not fair, so I might as well not play the game. What? What? Might not be fair. Oh, right, yeah, see, dude. Create your own game if you don't think it's fair, at least. Right? Play against yourself. Day by day, be like, did I best this version of me that I don't want to be? Yes? Then you are showing up for the synchronicity that you want to continue experiencing. And I promise you, you can keep to it. If you keep doing that, you will see change. It's kind of nice to be able to say that because change is a constant. Yeah, change. Yeah. Right? But it's gonna be up to you. It's gonna be up to you. It's gonna be up to all of us to do it together. I'm looking forward to watching this process, watching you friends grow, right? Being able to see how more and more so we come into our power, into the things that we're able to do, into the depth of love we feel for our animals, even for our family, for the grass underneath our feet, for the way we look at trees, for the coffee we make, right? Today I went through that whole trip of clinking my spoon against the sides of my coffee rhythmically, and I was like, ding 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 ding. I was like, yeah. This experience is beautiful, and we get to keep making it so. My battery is on 74%. Yes, synchronicities. Inducing. Use the unfairness to your advantage as others do. Loopholes are there for you to loop. Be careful of the pitfalls that often come behind the hurdles. Your friends are gonna do good. Looks like some type of pseudoscience. You can't love yourself, but for $5.99, I can teach you how to love yourself. Yes, you can't love yourself. Impossible. But if you pay me $5, then maybe it's possible. But you have to, please, if that is where we get to, and I honestly believe that is gonna be a weird fractal where someone is gonna run an ad, right? I don't know, maybe ads won't be a thing at that point. Maybe like this is a little bit of a cyberpunk kind of thinking, but someone is running an ad, having a hard time loving yourself. Sign up to love yourself more for $5.99 right now, and you pay for it, and it's like an app with a single function. You open the app, and it's a text-based file on a flat single colored background that goes, love yourself. And then, unfortunately, with the contract of you paying $5.99, you also like state in your contracting that you agree that loving yourself is good, right? So you should love yourself forever, right? So when you start paying $5.99, you have to pay $5.99 forever, because loving yourself is going to be valuable forever. And then you get to pay $5.99 for the rest of your life for an app that just says love yourself. And it's like a troll. It's like a straight up troll. People don't read the freaking contract. Oh man, please. I don't know if this is funny or terrifying. Use the unfairness. Be careful of the pitfalls. Exactly. Pitfalls. Be careful of the pitfalls. I'm making coffee right now. The devil that is Amazon just delivered my groceries. Amazon isn't the devil, right? Mass consumerism is. And unregulated control and distribution of resources. Like, we can have services like Amazon delivering food to our doors because technologically it is possible. We just have to, as a collective, invest in the things that we know is valuable, realizing that that's people, right? And then we can create a whole system. It's a process, Genevieve. I hope so, at least. Megacorps, please. I feel my soul desperately wanting to make music, but I don't have the resources. But I have a piano, so I need to use it to my advantage. I just really want to get my hands on more instruments. Grace, right now, for 10 minutes, 30 minutes a day, film yourself playing your piano, right? And even if not a single person watches it, start uploading it to your platform of choice. Maybe like cut a few snippets out of it and post it to Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, or, and not from a perspective of wanting to gain a following, but from making that something that you do, right? It becomes an identity. Oh, I want to make music and then hopefully potentially share my music with other people. Do it. Just do it for 10 minutes today, right? And then it becomes an identity. Then you'll be able to do the thing that you do even without having the resources, right? And I feel a part of me was really stuck in that loop as well, where I convinced myself that I needed certain things in order to do live streaming, right? And for the longest time, that was a proper gaming computer, because at first I wanted to do gaming live streams because that was popular, and I didn't think people would watch anything that wasn't gaming live streams, because at that point in my life I was watching gaming live streams. So it was like a trip, right? Manipulation of the self. And then I started streaming and we were just using our cell phones. And I realized that there is so much more to this experience than what we tell ourselves we're limited by just showing up for it and making it our reality. Even if it might not be at this point, even if it might feel super unnatural, we need to do the things that we want to do, right? And I believe you can, Grace. I've been playing it, but my urge to get my hands on other instruments has been distracting. What can you do with other instruments that you can't do right now with your piano? Is that a Gary? It's nice seeing you, dude. Thank you for joining us, bro. So much love to you, man. One love. We've been making music since we've been living in caves. We got all the resources you need, Grace. Yeah, and a piano can technically be a MIDI, right, to all of the other instruments. So you could, in theory, if you really know how to play a piano, make all of the sounds that you could make with any other instrument, right? Unless I'm like stupid a little bit. At least that's what I've learned from watching a bunch of other people make music online. Like a piano is technically like the GigaChat of instruments that you can play. So I think you're already in a good space, Grace. You got this. You can make music. I believe in you. This is basically free therapy, Melty. You're doing God's work. You are doing God's work as well because you're doing the work, right? Therapy is work from both sides. Otherwise, you just be tuning out, not listening to a word I'm saying. I will make you up, Joe. No energy too much for me, but we will see. Love is true, dude. The need for Amazon is what's the problem. Convenient? Sure, but it's apathy that drives that service. True as well. I'm like, I want to kayak this morning for like 8 hours. No, I'll try again tomorrow. It's like an addiction to gambling. No matter how many tools you have at your disposal, if your passion isn't there, it won't matter. Yeah, it has to be an identity, right? Like, this is something I do. I do this thing, and no matter what the circumstances is, you find a way to do it. Even singing, even humming, right? Ah, yes, I'm gonna hum music. Squibbity bam, squam bam tim squam, skiddity bam bam ba da bam 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 ba da bam, squam bam, squam bam bam bam. Yeah, squam. Make music. You can even just nonsense music. It is training the fractal of, ah, yes, I am someone who makes music because that's what I do. Much love to you. Thank you, dude, for making conversations happen, Gary Lee. Sounds awesome. I love kayaking. So true though, Melt. I don't know how to play it, but I'm learning. However, my soul knows how to play. do, right? That's the best way to grow the fractal that is musical. And like if you just go and watch like my previous streams, it felt like, and watching my previous streams is so hard for me because it feels like that part of me doesn't know what it's doing. And this part of me doesn't know either, but it's more comfortable, right? And I feel like that is something that's going to stay a constant. I might not know what's going on, but I'm more comfortable with not knowing what's going on, right? And even though you might learn how to play an instrument, you might not actually, know what's going on in the capacity of the Mozart level people that could just, from pure mind pull these beautiful symphonies. But you don't need to, right? You don't have to know in order to show up to know, right? You don't know everything. You get to know everything as the perspective. You get to play the instrument. You get to learn how to play the instrument. You don't know how to play the instrument. You get to learn how to play the instrument. I hope this is making sense. Sounds awesome. Much love to you again, dude. We have a short time to learn these skills, so you could either be an amateur at a lot of things or a master at some. The choice is yours. And I want to change your why of the choice is yours to an H as well, right? The choice is ours, not ours as well, technically, but the time you spend in hours. That is technically your choice, right? Energy in the measurement of time as well. How much hours did you spend learning? What drives my use of Amazon and other services is that I don't drive, so it's hard for me to feed myself without a car. This is true, and walking is not a vibe as well. I want to be an amateur at all the things and a master of loving them. I don't think you're an amateur at all, though. I kind of consider you a professional. Like in my mind, you're a professional, very much so. Novice or master, we all speak the same language of the soul. Yes, damn. Choice is ours. That hit. See you, dude. I see you, friends, and I love you so much. And I hope you know. I hope this is painfully clear. I'm talking to myself as well. Every day, some part of myself feels like I'm insane for doing it. But these things that I say because I know I'm supposed to be reminded of it. Like I need to remember these things. And for some reason, that part of me rebels. It's like, oh yeah, you're gonna say these things? No, I'm not. No, never. And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help make things better. Absorb every skill you can and apply it wherever it leads to. Yes, it leads itself, and no effort is wasted. The hours you put in towards your dream is never going to be wasted. Growing a skill, never going to be wasted. Have the most beautiful day, everyone. I love you all so very super much and dearly. Melt and all of you wonderfully wonderful friends. Love you, Shan. Thank you for joining us. I can drive, but sometimes depression keeps me in. And Jovan is a master at her art and at being a kind human and friend. She's a designer as well, right? Like you should see her design work as well. Like it's insane. She knows colors. She knows how to do these things. She's Giga Chat 5000. Y'all turn my energy around today, and I thank you, Evelyn's, and I thank the Evelevans. Evelevans out of you. My mind just went like super melted. It was like Evelevans. Evil villains. We love you. We love you so much, friends. Thank you for joining me, for showing up, for spending so much time with me. Almost 3 hours again today. I don't know if that's fair, right? From that whole perspective, but I hope it was. I love you so much. I'll see you again soon. You want to say bye to the people? Bye, Peppy. Love you.